my mentor was C. Hugh Holman. And so I've always thought that I really did belong in this English
Just for fun. Lana Diskin.
Well, I wouldn't remember this campus. Hi, Lana. I'm
David
Al
Holman.
David. Hi, nice to meet you.
It's not very compelling to the rest of the
I'm in Surgeons. You live in New York?
Hey, whoa! We're all going to Surgeons.
David Holman, you look so much like your dad. Bill Demerit.
Bill, hi.
Great to see you again.
I knew David back in the
Joe, how are you? I hug this guy, but I gotta hug this guy.
Let's see you.
Is there only one hug allowed?
No, you got to get more.
Here's the hard part about seeing you guys. You all look so good. And that's what makes me jealous. What are we doing?
We should get started. I want to say, first of all, as current chair of the English department, thank you all for coming and welcome. That I feel like my generation in the English department is sort of Alfred Holman's grandchildren, because the people who hired us were hired by Alfred Holman. I never met Professor Holman, and I didn't know him at all, but given the people that I met and got to know when I first arrived here, many of whom are now our honored emeritus faculty, I have to think that Professor Holman must have been very smart, very funny, very committed to the college, and very, very hardworking, because that's what those people who hired me were like. So I think it's extremely appropriate that we should honor Professor Holman, sort of take stock as a department of who we are and where we came from and what we have to live up to. And so to say some words about Professor Holman is Frank Areth, Emeritus.
We have President Gittenstein with us here today, Provost Taylor, Dean Rifkin, helping us to honor Al's memory, and thank you for coming as well. Somewhere is Celia Colbeth.
She's out there.
She's
getting the food ready for
lunch.
lunch.
Okay.
Here I am.
She was.
On cue.
She was trying to make a connection with President Brower, who is in Phoenix, and wanted to be here today. And we thought we had this electronically resolved, but there's something not happening with that. So I don't know if we're going to hear from Clayton or not. And particularly, we're honored by the presence of David Holman, Al's son, who's here to represent the Holman family, Al's children and grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, I should say. Right.
And great, yeah.
Let me just say a few words about Al, if you'll indulge me here. The man we celebrate today was unique. All of us, the old guys, could tell many stories about our leader and mentor. Just ask us, and we'll do that. Happily, there is that video some of you have seen. I hope more people will see it, that I made with him after he retired, which, if you watch it even for a few minutes, will let you see a man with a welcoming manner, a straightforward way of saying what he thought, and a great sense of humor. He loved living. He loved his Lida, he loved his kids and his grandkids. He loved playing golf and bridge, driving fast, and occasionally some bad words. He was a teacher. Couldn't wait to get to work at 8 o'clock, always had an 8 o'clock class, and amazed the kids with his energy and gusto so early in the morning. What they didn't know was that he had been up since 5 o'clock, graded papers, read the entire New York Times, and roared into class in high gear. His secret was naps. He took naps. He would go home at lunchtime. Stop me if I go wrong here, David. He'd go home at lunchtime, put on his pajamas, take a 20-minute nap, get up, get dressed, and go back to work. And he was, full of piss and vinegar.
I remember 3-minute naps and then 20-minute retelling of the dream.
That would work too.
We used to laugh at him about that.
Only man I ever knew who fell asleep in the dentist chair. Anyway, for many years he taught Faulkner and Hemingway, God will remember.
I remember.
And the honors course that he taught with Mike Smith in the psych department. Learning and teaching were always fresh in his world. He was a mentor as well. I dare say that every one of us here benefited in some way from his counsel and experience. He led this department from 1947, when he got here from Buffalo, to 1968, when he stepped down and became one of us again. We gave him an office, remember, in what was to become Holman Hall, which had a view on the lake, and he didn't want to take the office, but we made him do that. We thought it was the only place he could actually sit and look out the window in Holman Hall. That's lovely music. And as Glenn said, just think, he hired every one of us and left a huge legacy in doing so. He hired us, we hired many of you, and now you continue the process. The line of those who took the chair as his successors, I think, is very impressive. Milton Levin, Alex Liddy, Jane Brown, Lana Diskin, Lee Harrod, Bernard Barer, who's still on duty, Gene Graham, who's right around the corner here, David Blake, and Glenn Steinberg. And Joe Carney.
Take a nap, Frank.
It's my bad.
His legacy lived on in all of us, including Joe Carney. and obviously all of you. He loved that he had that building, and I know he would be sad to see it pulled down, but I think he'd understand the reasons. We dedicated the plaque after he had retired, and he loved knowing that it was there for all to see. But things change, and that's why we have all come here today. It's homecoming day for Al Holman. For from now on, his plaque will live here in the English department, where he belongs, among us, a group of teachers. I borrowed a line from Hamlet when we dedicated the plaque in the building in Holman Hall, which I'm very happy to be able to rehearse once again in tribute to him. He was a man taken for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again. Thank you.
Oh.
Very nice.